All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Chakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops, a great millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Nap, coming out with a lesson. Lord's will. This is edifying to the Lord's elect. All right, I'm gonna hop in the news real quick. I was watching a video with Apostle Tahar. He was talking about this morning. He was talking about IUIC dude, what's his name, Nate, and how he be stumbling around the rape doctrine or whatever, man. Let's start there. Let's just start. I just want to go there and read it. It tells you in Revelation 1 and 3, blessed is he that readeth. You know, you go in that word readeth, you don't just read the Bible. You got to read it with understanding, man. You might want to look it up, see what it's talking about, get the context of it. This is the time to be searching all these things out, man, because the last thing you want to do is put yourself in a position to scoff at the word, okay? You want to be able to look into these things, and actually the elder did say something about Ecclesiastes 11 and 7. Let me go there real quick, see what he was talking about. It's the book of Ecclesiastes 11, verse 7. Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke. That's right. If you're going to rebuke somebody for something, why don't you see what they're talking about so you can give them proper rebuke. Let's go into this. Deuteronomy 22, and I'll start at the top. And thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide thyself from them. Thou shalt in any case bring them again unto thy brother. So your brother, which is, you know, your brother, man, you know, your scriptures also say your neighbor is your fellow Israelite. Okay, that's who your brother is, man. Which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's who your brother is. So if his ox go astray in the ancient time, and you find it, and you know that's your brother's ox, it's a commandment from the Lord that you bring that ox back to your brother, okay? Deuteronomy 22 and 2, and if thy brother be not nigh unto thee, or if thou know him not, then thou shalt bring it unto thine own house, and it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it, and thou shalt restore it to him again. So if you see an ox, and you may not know that's your brother's ox, you can take it to your house, you know, until somebody comes looking for that ox, and you be like, yeah, I found that ox. That's that ox right there. Yeah, I got your ox, man, and you return it to him. That's a commandment from the Lord. Deuteronomy 22 and 3, in like manner shalt thou do with his ass, and so shalt thou do with his raiment, and with all lost thing of thy brothers, which he have lost, and thou hast found, shalt thou do likewise. Thou mayest not hide thyself. Yeah, so if he loses his raiment, which are his clothes, his ass, which is his donkey, or his anything that your brother lost, you know, you don't hide yourself, man. You give it back to him. That's a commandment from the Lord. Deuteronomy 22 and 4. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ass or his ox fall down by the way, and hide thyself from them. Thou shalt surely help him to lift them up again. So if you see your brother's ox fell down, it's up to you. It's the commandment from the Lord. You got to go help him get his ox out, help him up. Okay? You ain't supposed to just hide yourself, man. Just like, you know, we ain't following these curses, man, but it's the same thing now. Same thing applies. Deuteronomy 22 and 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God. And we see a lot of abominations, men wearing clothes. I remember I brought that out one day, and somebody walked by, and it was a man all tattooed up in a dress, so-called white man, by the way. That's an abomination to the Lord. Okay, so when you have your spiritual eyeglasses on, you can see all these things. You can see that everyone's a damn demon. They're wicked as hell. You have the right glasses on, just like that movie with the white dude with the glasses. I forgot the damn name of the movie. It's an old movie. He found some glasses. He was looking at the church, saw a bunch of demons coming out of there. And that's how we look at you churches too. You go in there, okay? We know that you don't have the spirit of the Lord on you, man. You got a demon on you. But a woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. So that means women are not supposed to go shop in the men's aisle wearing their clothes and shit, man. looking, you know, like you got these dykes. Dykes, that's an abomination to the Lord, man. You're not supposed to be wearing things like that. Looking like a boy and shit like that, deceiving people. Now, a lot of Israelite groups say, oh, you can't wear pants, you can't do this, that, and the third. If you wearing baggy pants like fucking, like the men do, if you wearing that which pertaineth unto a man, then you going off, okay? Some people use that to say you gotta wear a dress all the damn time. How you doing, my man?
How's it going, bro?
You have a blessed day. Can I talk to you for 1 second? 1 second, my man. You ever heard of the Israelites?
No.
You're an Israelite, my man. We're from the tribe of Judah, okay? The Lord is from the tribe of Judah. We're Israelites, okay? We're not so-called black. Your hair is black, right? Your hair and your skin is brown. Because we're the Israelites. This motherfucker lying to us. And our lives are in this book, in this holy Bible, man. Are you a so-called black man? African American? Yeah, we from the same tribe, my man. We from the same tribe. And it's important that you know that in these last days, man. You hear what's going on in the world, right? War is about to kick off. All this shit. And the Lord bringing all of that because he's tired of this place, man. These people never paid for what they did to our people, man. You understand?
I hear you.
All right, my man. You have a blessed day, though.
You too as well, man.
Yeah, all right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Deuteronomy 22 and verse 6. If a bird's nest chance to be before thee in the way, in any tree or on the ground, whether they be young ones or eggs, and the dam sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, thou shalt not take the dam with the young, but thou shalt in any wise let the dam go, and take the young to thee, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days. Let's see what that's talking about. For bird lands in your if a bird's nest chance to be before thee in the way, in any tree or the ground, whether they be young ones or eggs, and the dam sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, thou shalt not take the dam with the young. So that's like taking the egg with the kid. I guess that's what that's saying. Let me get this. Deuteronomy 28 verse 6. Let me get into that, man. These are our laws, man. And I'm sure the so-called white man found ways to break that. Scriptures talk about a righteous man careth for his beast, KJV. Jake out here too early in the morning, man. Drunk. Proverbs 12 verse 10, a righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but not like Esau. Esau don't regardeth the life of his beast. I remember you. How you doing today?
Good, brother.
That's good. You got, how you doing? Yes, we're Israelites. You're an Israelite. You ever heard of that? You read the Bible?
Israel's church.
No, not a church. You and I are Israelites. Israelites. You heard of the Israelites?
Huh?
You heard of it? You heard about Israel? You ever heard that you were an Israelite? You never heard that? You heard that before? Hey, that's a blessed thing, man. All praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh. What's your nationality?
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican. So you from the tribe of Ephraim?
Huh?
You from the tribe of Ephraim? Puerto Rico.
I'm from Indian from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're Indian from Puerto Rico. So you're West Indian. So you're a heathen. Oh, okay.
Indian.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But you live in Puerto Rico.
Before, now I'm living here.
Okay, gotcha.
Still
Are you Puerto Rican or are you Indian?
Puerto Rican.
You're Puerto Rican.
Indian. Puerto Rican Indian.
What's your father?
I'm gonna take up as my father is Puerto Rican too.
Oh, yeah.
Indian.
Oh, yeah.
Almost Indian. Puerto
Okay,
Rican.
okay.
Taínos.
Okay.
Black brother.
Oh, I think I know what he's saying. He's saying he's indigenous to Puerto Rico. That's what he's saying. Good morning. So Deuteronomy 28, 22 verse 6. I think that's what he was saying. He's indigenous to Puerto Rico. Indian. I guess so. I don't know. I never heard of a Puerto Rican describe himself like that. Deuteronomy 22 verse 6. But you ain't from a Puerto Riches either. So you from the tribe of Ephraim, but you know, there's a language barrier there. Deuteronomy 22:6 is a biblical law from the Old Testament that instructs people not to take the mother bird along with their young or eggs if they find a nest, but rather to let the mother go free so that it may go well with you. and that you may prolong your days. So you let the mother go. Deuteronomy 22, verse 7, but thou shalt in any wise let the dam go, and take the young to thee, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days. So the dam is the mother bird. Deuteronomy 22, verse 8, when thou buildest a new house, then shalt thou make a battlement for thy roof, that thou bring not blood upon thine house, if any man fall from thence. So battlement is, they call it a parapet. Okay, that's what they build on roofs today. So that came from the law, man. This parapet, that's part of his construction policy. You got to have a parapet, which is a battlement. Okay, that came from the law of Israel. All right. I see Esau following that law. So that's a law that I actually do see him but he builds the building so damn high, a parapet, if you fall from that, you're gonna die. So he breaks the law at the same time. So this nigga, he's still a devil. I was gonna give him, you can't get this nigga no credit for anything that he does, man. Everything he does, he transgresses the law. Deuteronomy 28 verse, I keep saying 28, Deuteronomy 22, in verse 9, thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest thy fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown in the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled. So you're not supposed to sow diverse seeds. You know, each crop that you know, and when you look at it from an agriculture, it gets deeper than that. But if you look at it from an agricultural standpoint, you know, each you know, you might have this land have, you know, collard greens and that with the corn and this, that, and the third. You're not supposed to mix it all together, man. Okay, you can defile the land, but it's also going into, you know, you wanna trust in your stock. You know, you're a seed. You need to trust in your own people, especially back then. Nowadays, you can deal with the heathen. You know, the elders go into it's okay to be with heathen women. You know, but they still, it really ain't 100. It's just we're in captivity. You know, it's not really breaking the law, but these women are, you know, you're giving your kid over to somebody. You're confusing them. You know, oh, I'm half white and I'm half black, and you know, you don't know how to act anymore, man. Let me grab this precept real quick. So it's also going into your posterity. Trust in thy stock, KJV. No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. Trust in your stock. Ecclesiasticus 26 verse 20, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So, you know, you find a fruitful possession, you know, you find a woman, she's considered like a field, okay? You're the seed, you plant your seed in that field, trusting in thy stock, meaning your own tribes, your own people. Not that you have to be within your own tribe, but when it came to ancient times, it was important that there was an inheritance that we were passing down. So it was always based on your inheritance and things like that. You know, you wanted to make sure that the inheritance properly got to, you know, within your tribe. You know, when it came to different land disputes, the Lord had laws around things like that. But all our land and shit was taken away. We don't have anything here. But we still see why these heathen women ain't. You see Jake always marrying some white bitch, and the stupid whore takes all of this shit. You know, because we in captivity. So you gotta be aware that you shouldn't be marrying these bitches anyway. That's not what marriage is when you make a government contract. It's not what marriage is. Okay? Let these whores, their husband is really the first person they slept with. So that's why I'm calling them a whore. Okay? The adulterers, you need to understand the laws. Deuteronomy, so you're not supposed to, so it goes into sowing diverse seed together. And it also goes into your posterity. Thinking of a precept in Tobit that kind of marries this all together. Tobit married his wife from his own tribe, KJV. Tobit 4, verse 12. Let's go there. Tobit 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred, and were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. So it also goes into your posterity. Okay? But like I said, it was all about land disputes and things like that. You know, you wanted to make sure your inheritance stayed within your tribe. So you would arrange marriages to make that happen. Okay? Tobit understood this. We forgot that, but we don't have any inheritance here. We do. Some of us do. You know, but the heathen constantly taking it away. What else am I thinking about? Let's keep going. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 10. Thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together. Yeah, you're not supposed to plow with an ox and an ass together. When you're plowing, you put a yoke together with the ox and the ass. Okay, that's an unequally yoked marriage right there, man. So the ox is stronger than the ass, and the ass is just lazy, man. Ass is always gonna want to stop and eat, and the ox is gonna want to work. So what's gonna happen to the work is that it's gonna take the plow and make it go the wrong way. So that's why the Lord told you not to do that. But it's deeper than that. It's more spiritual than that. Even when it comes into this truth. You know, you can't be with people that are gonna mess the plow up, especially with the doctrine. You know, they want to bring out, you know, the Israelites got something called a unity camp. But they're one camp from one group. They both Israel. They know they're Israel. They both know the name of the Lord. They come together, but they differ on the MOTB. They differ on, you know, things like that. You know, so and then you're not rebuking one another on top of that, but yet you're doing the work together, and you're making people go off. You make it seem to the world, the rest of the, when I say the world, cosmos, the Israelites, okay, that it's okay to, it don't matter what group you join. It don't matter what doctrine it is. You believe this, we believe that. That's the vibration that you're pushing out there. That's so you're not supposed to plow with an ox and an ass together. It's literal, it's spiritual, it's deeper than, it's not always verbatim like that. Deuteronomy 22 and 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of wool, linen together. So mixed fabrics, you're not supposed to wear that, but we're in captivity. What does Esau do? He mixes, you got the polyester mixed in with synthetic, just so he can defile you. And he does this because he's a spiritual warlock. He's not a warlock, I think that's what it's called. A warlock, or what do you call a male witch? That's what he is. Okay, he's a sorcerer. All right, just like your all those people that are doing all you're hearing on this Epstein shit, they're doing sorcery, they're doing witchcraft, and the people who follow them, they're witches, they're warlocks. That's why they fall under the banner MAGA. That means witchcraft in Latin. So these crackers know what they're doing. These devils know what they're doing. That's why when you look at the Ku Klux Klan, they look like fucking wizards. That's what they are. That's why they're gonna get burned alive, okay? That's exactly what's gonna happen to them. They're gonna get put to death because they're wicked. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem HaKadosh. Deuteronomy 22. And then they go to your church too. That's they made up that so-called white man, Jesus Christ. Okay. Deuteronomy 22 and 12. Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the four quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself. And then, you know, that's the IUIC do. They wear fringes. They push that a lot. You know, Pastor Tahar said in his video that they don't, that's the only law that they keep. And that's funny that he says that, because that's the only real law you can actually keep. If you really applied yourself 100%, you can keep that law. By keeping fringes on all your garments, you cannot go off on that. Just put fringes on everything that you wear, and then you'll be okay. You can never break that law. But yet you're breaking every other law. He brings some examples, but you can't even get past Deuteronomy 22 in verse 11. Wearing a garment of diverse sorts. You can't even do that. When you actually go buy some fringes for yourself, and you go to, you know, to the place, you're gonna see that they'll tell you how much is in it. These are fringes, by the way, if you don't know what that is, okay? None of them's 100%. I found that amazing when I first got my garment. You're happy, you just found your Israel. You wanna go get your garment, you go looking around the shop. You see, you know the law, you're like, hold on, I don't want anything, I want 100%. And you're looking around, the best you're gonna get is 99.9 because Esau's in power. You can't keep these laws here, man. That's one of the major laws. And then when you look into diverse colors, it throws off your vibration. Okay, so all of this stuff that we're doing is spirits on you, it's demons on you. You might think you holy, you ain't holy, man. You know, your clothes, I watched somebody, they turned plastic bottles into underwear. Underwear is made out of plastic. I didn't even know that. I can put on plastic and shit, man. You know, like that armor something, Under Armour gear, that shit's plastic. Paying all this money for some fucking bottles you threw away years ago, the nigga reselling it to you, you know, with a different label on it, telling you this is good quality, man. That's just all plastic. So we can't keep the laws, what I'm trying to say here. Deuteronomy 22, in verse 13, if any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her, going in unto her, meaning having sex with her, and give occasions of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. I went into her. You know, I wanted to marry this woman. I went inside of her, and I found her not a maid. She didn't bleed. So somebody else hit that. I want my money back, because that's what a woman was. She was a possession. You ask your father to marry her, you give him the right amount of money, and then they'll make it happen. If that's what he wanted to do, he didn't have to give you his daughter to wife. Showing you that the father had more power over his daughter on who she could and could not sleep with. Nowadays, the bitch goes online and scrolls through a bunch of different pieces of shit, murderers and pedophiles and all types of shit, and she clicks the one with the nicest teeth, okay? The one that says, I like to pay for bitches lunch. Oh, I'm gonna go talk to this man. Hi. So she's selling herself she's cheap. Women are cheap nowadays, man. They're cheap, man. And you go out your way to go. I was talking to somebody yesterday. He said he was with this bitch for 5 years. They were talking, they were sitting at the table, they were talking, his family, the girl's family started talking politics about Israel and what's going on there. And he said, fuck all that shit. He said he don't want to hear about, he said, I'm trying to enjoy my dinner. I don't want to hear nothing about no politics, man. Finish your steak, he told her. And then they broke up over that shit. But he was right. Okay, he was right. Nobody want to hear that shit when they're eating. You know? So that woman that left him, that might be it. What's she gonna do? She gonna go on the internet. She gonna go do the same shit all you women do. Go be a prostitute. That's modern day prostitution. So these women's, I don't know where I got them. These women's, they're prostitutes. And you need to look at them as such too. Very rarely are you gonna find a woman of morality and integrity. Most of the time, she just fucks somebody and she's on her way to go fuck somebody else. And you just happen to meet her in between. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 14, and give occasions of speech against her. Let me read this again, Salakia. Deuteronomy 22 verse 13. If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her, and give occasions of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid, Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. So in order to get a token of virginity, you would have had to sleep with her, and the mother and father would have took that token as proof. Okay? So if you later on try to dispute her token of virginity, they can bring out the proof. Okay? So that's why it was important that first time she had sex, because that attaches you to who your husband is. Okay? Hey, listen, she bled, she was a virgin. That's your wife. All right? But you ain't gonna get that here in America. What? They'll call that profane. Why are you keeping a bloody sheet? Who did you murder? What did you do? You know? These people, man, are out of their fucking minds, man. That's why you got harlots in the street. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 15. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. And the damsel's father, so the elders of the city in the gate, they would bring it. That's like the court, the gate. You know, you go to the gate, you look for, that's where these type of disputes would be communicated. You would go to the elders of the cities in the gates to come up with a solution for these things, to hold people accountable. But our gates are smitten. Let's go to Jeremiah 14, in verse 2. It says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. So the gates thereof languish, going into that communicating judgment and justice for the people of Israel. Those gates are languishing. You don't have people standing up for righteousness for the nation of Israel. You got prophets out here reminding you of the law, telling you to repent. I mean, they're doing the most that they can. It's not like we're here to establish Israel again so we can live here. It's just the word going out, and it's going to reach the ears of the elect, and you know, then the end's going to come. You know, this is just us practicing the righteous acts, understanding what this was written in the book, our customs, why they're righteous, what righteousness is. You know, it's the meditation of this law. That's righteous when you do these things. Okay, teaching your people about the law, showing what righteousness is. The so-called white man's not doing that, and the so-called white woman's not doing that either. She's being a bed wench. That's what she is. She's a fucking bed wench, man. She's supposed to lay on her back and get fucked all the time. That's why she feel comfortable being in the porn industry. That's all she's supposed to do. That's what she's created to do. All right? That's it. A bed wench. If you ever watched the movie Handmaid's Tale, she's the one that's supposed to be in red. Okay? She needs to be educated on keeping her head down. And you call her when you feel like it. Other than that, she's supposed to be washing dishes, cleaning the floor. That's what she's supposed to do. And that's what she's going to be when we get into the kingdom. Jeremiah 14:2, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. That's right. So they're black unto the ground. Black going into Kedar, showing you that they're black. They're actually dark-skinned people. Okay? And yes, Jerusalem was burnt down with fire, but this is all spiritual and symbolic at the same time. It's not for everyone to understand. And their nobles have sent their little ones to the waters. They came to the pits and found no water. They returned with their vessels empty. They were ashamed and confounded and covered their heads, because the ground is chapped, for there was no rain in the earth. The plowmen were ashamed. They covered their heads. Yea, the hind also calved in the field and forsook it, because there was no grass. And the wild asses did stand in the high places. They snuffed up the wind like dragons. Their eyes did fail, because there was no grass. So there's no grass, there's no water. It was messed up in that time. O Lord, though our iniquities testify against us, do thou it for thy name's sake. For our backslidings are many. We have sinned against thee. So that's pretty much it on that. But the gates are going into the elders of the city. giving judgment. Back to this Deuteronomy 22, verse 16. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her. So see, I gave her to this man. So your decision making on men, you ain't supposed to do that. It's up to your father to do that. So how much respect would you have for your father? And guess what? That allows the nation to thrive, because he wanna give you, first of all, to another nation who didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. It tells you in the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 7th chapter, I believe. Ecclesiasticus 7:21 is coming up to my mind, where it says, when thou marry a damsel, you get a weighty matter. Ecclesiasticus 7 and Deuteronomy, Ecclesiasticus 7, verse 23. Hast thou children, instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth. Hast thou daughters, have a care of their body, and show not thyself cheerful toward them. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding. So there you go. Give her to a man of understanding. That's you performing a weighty matter, but men don't do that. Elam practices that. Elam, I'm talking about the East Indian man. That's why they're married, you know. Their families, their mother, they practice exactly what I'm just reading about. That's a righteous thing that they're doing. Marrying their daughters. They don't want you being 30 years old, no kids like so-called, like over here in Babylon. No, they want you to hurry up, crank those babies out, man. I want to see my grandkids. I ain't got all this time to live, man. You think, come on, man, let's get these grandkids up out of here. Come on, you could go to work. I'll take care of the grandkids, and you can continue to thrive, save some money. And they're pleased to do that. So Elam be doing some righteous things, man. But when it comes to the nation of Israel, man, they break all these laws. Deuteronomy 22 and verse 17, and lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. So they'll show them the proof. Look at it. When they first had sex, I pulled the sheet. Okay, so he's lying. Okay. Deuteronomy 22 verse 18, and the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. So now you got to pay 100 shekels. For, that's, what do you call that today? When you ducks be trying to do that, defamation of character. Yeah, so that's in the law too. You're giving a bad name and it's proven that you were wrong, you gotta pay up. You gotta pay up for that, man. That's part of the law. That's righteous too. You know, speaking all this shit about other people that ain't even true. Deuteronomy 22 verse 20, but if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, because she have wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put away evil away from among you. So you would stone her at her father's house, the people in the city. That's how you put away evil from among you. Because now the other women are going to look and say, I don't want to do that. I don't want that to happen to me. Now, especially when it's people of your community doing it, stoning you to death, man. You don't have no sense of community here. Keep these whores out of your, they keep the prostitution level very low. Okay? Keep putting these whores to death. And that's why Babylon is considered a whore. You know, it's gonna get burnt with fire. She was gonna get stoned for playing the harlot. But the daughter of a priest, she would get burned with fire. Okay? And that's what's going to happen here. Deuteronomy 22 in verse 20. But if this thing be true, and the tokens, I just read that. Deuteronomy 22 and 22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, then they shall both of them die. Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman, so shalt thou put away evil from Israel. So if a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, committing adultery, both of them will get put to death. But in this place, you know, you catch your wife cheating on you, you put, you know, her and him to death, you'll get locked up for life. That's wicked. Hey, I caught these two in the act. You know, you go to court and you sit in the court, you're just like, yep. Where's your proof? Deuteronomy 22 verse 22 says, if a man be found lying with a woman, you say this is a Christian country, right? Well, why are you locking me up? You're a fucking hypocrite. The judge is a damn hypocrite. Then you throw a chair at the judge to smoke even more. You might do what Jake jumped over. This dude jumped up so high and almost grabbed this, and then it was a woman judge too. This place is backwards, man. This place is evil. Deuteronomy 22 verse 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die, the damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he have humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. So if a man find a damsel betrothed to a husband, meaning she's engaged to be married, so she's a virgin. She wasn't consecrated yet. His husband wants to marry her. They're going through the process or whatever. You know, it took Jacob like 7 years, man, to get Rachel. Or was it 14 years? Because I think he got Leah first. He wanted Rachel, but got Leah first and had to work another 7 years. So that's 14 years altogether to get Rachel. So the father made Jacob work, which was his uncle, Laban. You know, but after him working, he came up. He had cattle. Okay, he had a means of, you know, he had some wealth. You know, and that's Laban giving her to a man of understanding, even though he was kind of out of his damn mind too. You know, but there was, you know, he was worshiping other gods, but there was still some form of, you know, somewhat following these different laws, even though he was following other gods. And and Yahweh spoke to him directly too. He said, "You better not go talk to Jacob all any way you want." And he didn't. That should have been enough for him to throw away those other gods and serve Yahweh, but the Lord didn't want him to serve him. Okay. So if she cry not out, so if you're getting raped and you're not crying out for help, you're gonna get stoned to death with your with the person who raped you. And that's twofold too, because spiritually, Esau is trying to put his chip inside of you, and you ain't crying out to the Lord. So you're not going to be justified. You're going to get killed with him. Because you're okay with the rape. You just sit there and don't say, oh, he raped me, but you ain't saying nothing. You get put to death. Just like in Susanna. You read the book of Susanna, you know, she was justified at the end of the day. The Lord had Daniel be the judge and put those two people to death. But for some reason, the IUIC, they look at that and they get offended. This cuts them. They get offended about the Lord having laws on rape. If it happens, this is what you're supposed to do. The Lord kept these laws. He wrote these things for a reason. Women ain't supposed to be going out doing whatever the hell they want. Just like Dinah in the book of Genesis. Let me read that real quick. Genesis 30, 38, I think. No, it might be 30 earlier. Yeah. Genesis 34:1. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which he bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her. See? Going out with the daughters of the land, man. That's what happens with you when we go out dealing with these damn heathen and there's something happening to you. Should have just been where you were supposed to be. You're not married. You need a wife. You need a husband. Then you need a husband. You need to be a wife. Then you would have had a hedge of protection because you wouldn't have been going out doing all that stupid shit. You would have been tending to your father. Deuteronomy 22 in verse number 23. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he have humbled his neighbor's wife, so thou shalt put away evil from among you. So the law kind of, what it does is it protects. It's against the damsel because it takes away from the adultery. No one, you didn't cry, you know, so you were for it. And then the man who humbled the wife, that keeps these people not, there's a law, they'll get put to death for doing that. So because these laws are being implemented, you know, people like that will get stoned to death. That will teach other men not to be like that. That'll teach other women not to be like that, which would curve grape going on. Well, you hear that shit today, you got that shit, the law's not being implemented. So iniquity is abounding. So what's happening is people are committing rape and they're not being put to death like the Bible tells them to be put to death. Deuteronomy chapter 22 in verse number 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. So if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. So the damsel has no sin worthy of death. Okay, so because she cried out. All right, she cried out. Deuteronomy 22. But the man he'd be put to death alone. I mean, you still gotta like Dinah. You know, Dinah wasn't betrothed. Dinah wasn't. She was nothing. Okay, and a damn fucking Hivite took her. And then when you read the rest of the account in Genesis 34th chapter, Levi and Simeon weren't feeling that. Okay, so they put them all to death. And they weren't supposed to do that either. So technically they broke a law. You know? And that would, you know, but people get offended by that. But this is a whole different time, man. But these laws still apply. This is the law that endures forever. So you might not like it. Hey, it's up. You ain't gotta like it. You ain't gotta like it, man. Okay? But you can't uphold these laws. There wouldn't be any of this great shit. You're gonna have human sex trafficking if you don't want to uphold the law. I'd rather one person get stoned for being a demon than to have a whole network of wickedness happening perpetually. Deuteronomy 22 in verse 27. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. So that's why that man is only getting put to death. For her, she cried. So she's not worthy of death. And that's also going into us when you read Matthew the 25th chapter. Let me grab that real quick. What time is it? Yeah, Matthew 25. Going into these virgins. We're like virgins. We're like women unto the Lord, according to Jeremiah 6 and 2. Let me get this in Matthew. In Matthew 25, in verse 1, then shall the kingdom of heaven be like unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. Okay, so the bridegroom's talking about Yahushua. And 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. And the oil's going into this understanding. Okay, you want to be filled with this oil. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. And that's what you're going to see. They're gonna the foolish virgins are gonna run out of oil. So they're gonna run out of faith. They're gonna run out of believing in the Lord. They're gonna faint. They're not gonna have enough oil until the Lord get here. But it tells you in Psalms the 23rd chapter, some of us are gonna have our cups runneth over. Way too much oil, man. The oil is just pouring out. And it don't even matter. They're sufficient. They're sufficient they got enough to get them to the finish line. And that's the elect. That's the wise virgins. Okay? And the foolish said unto the wise, Matthew 25 and 8, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. That's right. Go to ye that rather sell and buy for yourselves. We're not even arguing with people anymore. They don't want to hear the word. You know, I extended my arm out to that brother there earlier, but that's all from the Lord. Dude smoked cigarettes, got his pants hanging off, smell like alcohol. He's out here in the cold. He's out of his dead mind. He got demons on him, but I didn't even get him to get the name of the Lord. He started sparking up a cigarette because the demons were getting on him. So I just told him as much as I could, give him a little bit of water. And he walked away saying, oh, we're Israel, we're Israel. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's all spiritual. Lord, it tells you in Isaiah, man, his arm's not short. The Lord's doing a mighty work. It's supposed to be snowing and shit, man. People need to hear the word, man. All right? Deuteronomy, as a matter of fact, Matthew 25, verse 10. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. That's right. And them that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. And that's just like what happened with the Ark of Noah. He shut the door, and everyone else got destroyed. And that's exactly what's going to happen when we get beamed up in the chariots. Let me see. What is that? Isaiah 20. Isaiah 29, I think. Hey, turn that down a little bit. I'm trying to read over here. Isaiah 29. No, it's not 29. What am I thinking about? Shit. I forgot. Enter into the chambers. I can't remember what that piece of is. Let me grab it as a matter of fact. Enter into the chambers. It's probably Jeremiah. I can't remember. But that's what it's going into. Enter into the chambers, KJV. Isaiah 26. Isaiah 26, verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed. So that's what's going into the chariots. That's that door being shut. But it's also symbolic. This is a bridegroom. This is a marriage. This is Yahushua. This is consecration. This is that virgin. Okay? when you're going into the woman. That's what it's all symbolic of, that marriage. You're going to be up in there, and the blood, which is the blood of Yahweh Shai, they're going to be found with the blood, man. Okay? That's why they're virgins, man. And that's who the Lord's coming to get. It doesn't mean they don't have any, they never had sex before. Okay? It means that they're not defiled with other women. Other women meaning these other strange women, these different doctrines. Okay? Matthew 25 and verse 11. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us. Open to us, Salakia. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. So verily means truly, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. For the kingdom of heaven is a man traveling into a far country who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. That's pretty much it. Going into the virgins, which are the elect of Israel. The foolish are like the 2/3 of Israel. They might have heard the truth. They're gonna scoff at it. Some of them endured for a little bit, then they fell out. Some of them they took a bag or whatever it is, man. They're not gonna have. They ran out of oil. Whatever got you plucked up out of here, tells you that the Lord's elect, well, you can't pluck them out of his hand. Okay, so if you got plucked up, you were never in his hand to begin with. Okay. Deuteronomy 22 and 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he have humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. Oh, so that's what they're offended about right there, Deuteronomy 22 and 29. Because it says, 28 and 29, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel father 50 shekels of silver. So this is what I was saying in Genesis 34th chapter with Dinah. How she, they broke that law. Levi and Simeon, because they were heated that this uncircumcised heathen took their sister. But Jacob wasn't about that, man. Jacob he understood the law. He understood it. But in all actuality, when you read Genesis 34th chapter, when you read the previous verses, you realize that it's really Jacob's fault Dinah got great. The Lord didn't tell him to stop in Shechem. He told him to go all the way to Bethel, I believe. And he stopped in Shechem. The Lord didn't tell him to do that. And he stopped in Shechem, and his daughter got raped. So this is why you got to listen to the Lord. That wouldn't have happened. There's consequences for being disobedient. And we're supposed to learn that. If the Lord got us, whatever the Lord wants us to do, hey, you better be for it, man. There's consequences for your actions. And a lot of y'all, you haven't seen it yet, but it's coming. Jacob's trouble's right around the corner. You're going to wish you had a relationship with the Lord, not scoffing at these things. So he told the father to give him 50 shekels of silver. Okay. But we know the woman's role is to be out there. You got to be wise, man. You got to be wise. You got to operate. If you, it didn't happen to Sarah. Sarah, Abraham said, Sarah, that's my sister. And the Lord defended her. So a righteous woman, that's not going to happen to you, man. The Lord is he's going to defend you. All right? But if he don't want you, then, hey, it is what it is. Something's going on. His thoughts are not our thoughts. Okay? the law is going to be executed. All right. So if somebody takes somebody's unbetrothed daughter and takes her, okay, grapes her, the law says in Deuteronomy 22, you're supposed to pay the father 50 shekels. What's the problem, man? What's the problem? Okay. This nigga takes the Epstein files. Look at them niggas. Them niggas take it. They don't do shit. You should be in an uproar about that. They're stealing and kidnapping people. You should be in an uproar about that. If you had to choose between the two, wickedness or righteousness, which one you gonna choose? I want the law. I'd rather the Lord's law be implemented. Esau's law is way worse than that. Deuteronomy 22:30. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt. So you ain't supposed to take your father's wife. Damn. It smells like straight garbage over here now, out of nowhere. Nobody's here. This fucking stinks. What the fuck that is, but it's just disgusting. Where that shit's coming from, I don't know if it's a manhole or what. It's bad. Fucking crackheads and shit. What I'm talking about, man. SDFU. Okay. Not STFU, it's SD now? Okay. Amen. What is God's greatest commandment? Spiritual sorcerer. Sorry your parents made you like this. It's not your fault. Listen to his voice. He doesn't even believe it. He's so conflicted. Poor guy. Watch the nervous swaying. It's a psychological response to emotional stress. Yeah, I am stressed. Thank you for noticing that. I'm stressed because you damn devils are in power. Okay? And I'll be able to rest when I get into the kingdom of heaven. And it's, look, how cold is it? It's pretty cold out here today, man. When you move your body, it helps with picking up heat. But you want to understand that Deuteronomy, so that's pretty much it on that. That's pretty much it on all of this. Okay? So people don't like that. It is what it is. I don't understand why these such smart Edomite white people got listening to me. You should be listen to your science, man. Listen to your science. You so damn smart. Right? Go save your government, man. Go protest something, man. Israel's taking over your government and you on YouTube worried about so-called black men swaying back and forth. Well, while you're here, I might as well tell you going into slavery, by the way, for what you did to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, if you're still here. Okay, and we're gonna rule over you very badly. We're gonna do you very, really bad. We're gonna be righteous with it though. We're not gonna do like you, raping men, kids, and children, eating human meat and shit like that. We ain't gonna do that to you. All right? We're gonna take a scepter, right? We're gonna bust it all upside your head, man. Okay? That's what we're gonna do. And that's what I'm waiting for the Lord to give us the honor to do that. Okay, and I'm hoping the Lord gives me power to do that. So I can put your people in slavery. It's just like that. I'm not gonna be swaying when I'm swinging that scepter though. Okay, I'm gonna make sure it's perfectly aligned with your forehead, and I'm gonna bust that shit wide the fuck open. Okay? Lord's will, He gives me. Whoever said that, Mr. Roaming Heathen. Come on, man. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. The nigga's name is Roaming Heathen. These are demons, man. Every time that's why when I watch the Common Boy, this people, man. Few people. But most of it is to distract. When I see signs like that, it's because there was a sincere listener listening. And they probably weren't even getting offended. A lot of this word, it tells you in Hebrews 4th chapter. This is like a two-edged sword, piercing and dividing asunder soul and spirit. The so-called white people, they hate this word, man. They hate our Lord. They killed the Lord. Okay? They killed the Lord, man. So that's why they deserve to be judged, man. All right? They need it. I saw a so-called white lady walk by smiling. That smiling shit don't work with me. You a damn cannibal blood drinker. That's how I look at you people, man. That smiling shit don't work on me. That smiling shit work for other damn stupid-ass Israelites. I know you ain't shit but a damn devil. All right? That shit don't work on me. I see past the smiles of you Edomites, man. That shit don't work. And the world's starting to notice that, and all praises to the Lord for exposing you people, man. For the damn devils you are. You think it's just the elite. There's no elite in the nation of Edom. They're all low-level base men. Okay? Only elite are the elect. It's the Lord's elite. That's it. All right? But anyways, I'm gonna end it here. Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Radash, Shalom, Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala.